Well, it's not going to be a Royal Rumble tonight, unfortunately. But there was a Rumble that happened. Not only that, though, but there was romance in the air. Two kids fall in love with each other after first glance. Not knowing who they are, what their backgrounds are, not going on a date, not going out for coffee or dinner or to a movie or anything. As soon as they saw each other within the first day, they are in love and they want to get married, they want to go out, they want to do all that stuff that adults like to do. But then again, you know how it is, big kids, big dreams, but still have a lot of maturing and growing up to do. But in this case right here, of this particular movie, West Side Story. Well, lately I have been in a mood of watching musicals lately. Why? I can't even tell you. I've just been wanting to watch musicals lately. And this right here, this movie is one of those films where it is one of the best musicals out there. Not only within the whole Shakespearean story of the Romeo and Juliet scenario that happens, but the movie itself has a lot of things that I seek and enjoy looking at in terms of Broadway musical productions that I enjoy witnessing on stage or on screen. Now, on stage, it's easy to obviously put this production together, get your cast of characters, your performers, or whomever that you know to get this particular production together, learn the songs, choreography, your dialogue, get the presentation set up. But when it comes to a movie, it's a entirely different scenario. Now, for this movie, I ended up seeing myself a stage play brought to life in this particular picture. Now, obviously, within the whole entire atmosphere, the landscape, the presentation of New York City itself, the 1950s set, I really got to give a lot of credit for how they were able to take the entire landscape of New York during the 1950s. I'm assuming the early 50s, like 51, 52, right around there, and just bring that entire landscape to life in a stage play type matter. Now, as for the story itself, like I said, it's New York City, it's the 1950s, a modern day tale of Shakespeare's classic Romeo and Juliet. Instead of the battle between two families, it is the battle between two gangs, the Jets and the Sharks. Now, obviously, there is problems between the two because the Jets are American and the Sharks are Puerto Rican. But the thing is that when the Sharks came to America, they wanted everything that the Jets have had: liberty, freedom, justice, pride, respect, all that stuff. And obviously, being America the land of opportunity, you get it. Now, everybody in this particular performance did an exquisite job. Now, the story alone, it does spread on many different topics between gang violence, love, pride, respect, youth, shit like that. This movie really does cover a lot of different things. But what really holds the movie together is obviously the songs as it progresses. Now, the dialogue between the characters, and especially with how they interact with each other, you learn their personalities, you learn who they are. You get the entire story as soon as that. What was it? The entire in terms of the actual music itself, as that whole visual of New York City goes from color to color, changing from the music itself, giving the orchestra and preview of what songs you're going to be listening to. Once it goes right into the actual movie itself, you learn who the Jets and the Sharks are by just their choreography, their facial expressions, their mannerisms, and how they are interacting with each other. Now, you learn about the two leaders of Riff and Bernardo. Obviously, how they ended up becoming the gang leaders, how they are the gang leaders, and they're pretty much their duty in the gang. And not only that, though, but the reasons why each gang member hates each other. Fighting over a piece of street. But I digress. Now, the biggest star in this movie was Natalie Wood. God bless her soul. There's nothing I can necessarily say anything bad about her performance. That she did a phenomenal job performing as Maria. I mean, she was wonderful. Now, as for the songs itself, again, the choreography that every single performer did in this movie was top notch. You can tell with all the rehearsals that they have done, put a lot of work into this particular movie, and sure enough, they all delivered. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Now, obviously, some of the most well-known songs from this film is Who Knows, Maria, Tonight, America, Somewhere, I Feel Pretty, which I was singing earlier because it was looping and stuck in my head, which is one of the small reasons why I'm kind of talking about this movie. And I just felt like seeing it again because, well, like I said, I've been in the mood watching musicals. But Natalie Wood, she was a star attraction in the entire movie, and it was great. Now, between the battles between the Jets and the Sharks, you got Tony and you got Maria. Now, when it came to the dance, when they first met, obviously the cliques were sticking with their own group, dancing with each other and whatnot. But once Maria and Tony didn't have any dance partners, once they locked eyes and saw each other and got this close, like I said, love at first sight, and not even within the first 5 fucking minutes, these two just started talking and making out with each other. Oh my goodness gracious. Now, I'm not going to lie and say that I'm not a big fan of Shakespeare whatsoever. I don't really care for the whole entire concept of Shakespeare whatsoever. I don't really care for the stories, nor am I a fan. But I already said that this movie itself, West Side Story, taking a premise of Shakespeare with Romeo and Juliet and turning it into a musical where it was a much more modern setting, it works and it fits. But for me, though, just looking at it, I mean, it's just amazing how these two are able to fucking fall in love, want to get married within the first 2 days they've known each other, and yet someone like me, who has met somebody, once I try and say, hello, how are you, I get rejected! Tony's a lucky guy. Maria's a lucky woman. Well, within the first 2-3 days they've known each other, I gotta give credit for them building this relationship within the time frame they had of 36, 48 hours or whatever it was. It's amazing. Jealousy, tension, prejudice, a lot of shit going on. But then again, obviously the reason why they couldn't have worked together because of their different backgrounds and whatnot. Just like in Romeo and Juliet, 2 different families, and it's the same thing. 2 different families, 2 different backgrounds. But despite their backgrounds and families that they are in, when you're in love, you're in love. And love will not tear us apart whatsoever. Or love will tear us apart, Joy Division. But like I said, I have to give credit for the performances. Like I said, Natalie Wood was top notch. Tony, the performance for him playing as a young guy, I mean, even though that him and Riff were the ones who started the Jets, and the fact that he broke away from the group to try and mature and become somebody and working in the store that he was, but once he fell in love with Maria, I mean, that was it. But this movie does teach a lot, not only with the whole world of gang violence, especially fighting over a piece of street or whatever point they were trying to prove. Now, the thing is that I honestly don't think there was a point. There really wasn't a point at all for these two gangs to fight each other. I mean, it was later explained they were fighting because of hate. Hate for what? Because somebody comes from somewhere else? Because somebody has a different family? Someone's got a nicer woman or a nicer man or whatever? The Jets and Sharks, I don't think they were fighting for whatever reason. What? Because they don't like each other for different backgrounds? Which I think is complete bullshit. But like I said, it was all filled with hate. It wasn't the weapons. It wasn't blaming on the weapons. It wasn't blaming on objects. It was their energy. They were told multiple times to just go home, let shit go, and continue on with their lives. But once shit had to happen, whether it was in the Rumble or later on, that's when their fucking faces set in. The reality kicks in, like fighting over a piece of street, having this gang. But then again, they're all kids. They're all teenagers. I mean, they should know right from wrong, but when you're in that adolescent phase of trying to understand and learn from whatever's going on, once shit actually happens and reality sets in, that's where it's like, you know what, it's time to grow up. And the coming of age element does happen later on in this movie. Like I said, once the reality kicks in, that's it. But then again, West Side Story, the movie itself is phenomenal. It's one of my favorite musicals out there. I've already talked about the choreography being absolutely sublime. The songs, the performers, the characteristics, the whole set design. It was for it being a stage play brought on screen Really good stuff. Obviously, the dialogue itself had its moments within being silly, but that's okay. Because then again, everybody had their own personalities between the Jets and the Sharks, and the whole Romeo and Juliet scenario. But West Side Story, the movie itself, is a 4 out of 5. Really, really good movie. Really, really good. I enjoy watching it every single time. And if it ever comes to a time where I want to see it on stage, I will definitely buy tickets to Wine to see it on stage. So with that being said, folks, I recommend checking out West Side Story if you've never seen it before. It's phenomenal. Great stuff. Great camera work. Phenomenal songs that are obviously very memorable. You can feel the energy. You can feel the passion, the love, anger, all those tensions. So with that being said, folks, that's going to do it for my little talk on West Side Story. And with that being said, ciao for now.